Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Run It Up. We are here today playing. Sorry, a little confused. We are here today playing a $25 heads up sit and go on ultimatepoker.com. We are playing a viewer team Run It Up. The viewer was in town and he said, "Hey, Jay Carver, let's play a heads up sit and go." And I said, "All right, sure." So here we are battling it out. Heads up sit and go. So in this hand, our opponent min raised the button and then bet flop, bet turn, and now here we are on the river. uh, I don't really know what to do here. I mean, I don't know our opponent really at all. We chop here a lot, obviously. He has to have ace jack, ace king, or a 3 for us to be behind. He did overbet the river, though. So it's unlikely to think he's bluffing, but our hand is so good, you know? Like, I think we're going to have to... He did have trips, so I mean, like, I really think that I believe him. I believe the story that he's strong, but our hand is so good, you know. We have aces and 3s, you know. Like, maybe that was a little bit of a call that was a little too loose. I mean, I felt that not knowing our opponent at all, I really just wasn't sure. This is one of those 10-minute sit and goes and not a 4-minute sit and go. So that actually encourages us to just call because we have time to find other situations, you know. But we decided to not go with that time. I'm going to bet here twice. I think there's some chance he'll fold a hand better than ours. If he calls, we still have a gut shot, and probably a jack is good. Probably also a 7 would be good some percentage of the time as well. Against a small check raise, I think we just have to fold because we really can't afford to put 120 chips in the pot and then continue. So we've got ourselves some business we've been given. We've just a 3-1 chip dog after like 2 hands. No big deal. That's fine, you know. Get a little handicap over there. You know, it's okay. What can you do? Probably not going to be defending here with the old 6-3 offsuit. So it's been a kind of an interesting day, a couple of interesting days here. You guys hopefully enjoyed the videos from the last couple days, which were not run-it-ups, but hope you enjoyed them nonetheless. I'm sure some of you were jonesing, but you know, hey, I've got all the as of right now, all of the Dear Jay Carver emails have been converted into this pile of papers, all of which pretty much started a week ago. there's like 80 emails here, and I didn't even print out like 20 of them because they weren't really like for reading out loud. They were like, you know, personal questions or stuff like that, you know. So pretty amazing. So if you've got a question that you would like to see read on stream, fire away, dearjcarver@gmail.com, and I'll pop it to the list. So we've managed to put in 1 big blind preflop and make ourselves a flush, which is really fantastic. Good, more no bets. We've really played this one fantastic. 25 chips is the wager with just, you know, the nuts. No big deal. Just, you know, 5 of the same shape. Our opponent was fortunate enough to at least chop a tournament tonight, live tournament tonight while he was in town. So he's done pretty good. He's on a heater. We're not in the heater, you know. Looks like we're going to be winning this pot unless something really weird has happened. Oh, he's showing the old 4-3, which I guess does make sense. He limp button, check back flop, called turn. He could have bet flop, obviously. He could have also arguably folded river, but you know, it's all about what he thinks we're doing and all that other stuff. So I feel like the worst decision we made so far was calling with the ace-9 there. Like, I was pretty confident I was going to fold, and then I kind of talked myself into calling, you know, against a guy I don't know, it's probably not going to show a profit. He's going to have ace-jack, ace-king, or a 3 often enough, you know, more so than what, you know, does he have some weird bluff? Like, that's pretty unlikely. So I don't really like our call there. I think that was a little bit bad. So I guess that's that. I think we're going to start at the check raise here. Once in a while, our opponent will be... I don't think he's going to be folding better than this. Like, if he has a 6 or a king, he probably doesn't fold. But it doesn't matter what he has. 2 cards have tons of equity against a deuce there. So I'm happy just to check raise right now and say, I think we have the best hand. And it looks like our opponent agrees with our assumptions. So all right, we have chipped our way back up to almost a 2-1 chip disadvantage. That feels nice. We at least just didn't get like steamrolled to the bank over here. Gonna be calling here with pocket sixes. I think it's fine. Pretty good flop for us. Okay, well, there's that. So I feel really confident that we have the best hand now, and I actually think we're in a great spot because we saw him check back before with a 4 in a spot like this. So I think the hand strength he has right now is very much going to be like an ace high or a 4 or a 3, and I think that it's very likely that our opponent will probably look us up on the river here, I think. And unless he happens to have some sort of a jack, we win pretty often, I believe. Looks like that will be the case here as well. I didn't agree to showing cards, but he said, are we showing? So, alright, maybe we'll show some hands. Maybe we'll show some hands, you know, keep it in the run it up family. Win or lose, you know, we're running it up together. So, what can you say? I don't know if, oh, I guess, is it going to slow down the game tremendously if we show every hand? I think it might. Alright, I'll show the bigger ones. None of this pre-flop stuff is going to take too long. Friendly poker. I can't stand it. Get out of here, friendly poker. It's cutthroat poker. Our opponent, Asian ravioli, by the way. I'm not sure if that's a real thing or not, but he says, I know I gotta stay aggressive pre. You have edge post. Right, you know, I think that's a pretty decent strategy. It's something that in this spot here, by the way, I haven't seen him re-raise yet, so I don't really want to call with a hand like ace deuce. I mean, like I would call there a lot sometimes, but I'm a little hesitant to put chips in the pot here. Look at us, dodging pairs. So I think that whenever you play someone heads up, you should always evaluate whether or not you have a skill edge post flop or pre flop, or what exactly you think you have, where you think your skill edge exists, if it exists at all, and trying to figure out where your edge is where their edge is the smallest, or you know wherever. Some thought like that is always good, no matter whether you're like Phil Ivey or not. Like even no matter how good you are, you should always kind of try to figure out where your skill lies and what your best strategy is. So I think our opponent trying to play bigger pots pre-flop is definitely good for him. So in this hand, we re-raised pre, and he called on the flop. So the question is, should we be betting or checking on this turn here? I think we're gonna just check. I mean, I was debating maybe check raising all in, but we're not going to do that now. We're just going to have to check fold. Like it's possible that he's bluffing us off this hand here, that he just has like a float, or he could have like a ace high, which obviously is beating us, but whatever. And yeah, so don't worry, kid. You had the best hand. It's fine. He might have a hand like ace high, but if he had bet like 200, maybe we would have check shoved. We could have bombed it ourselves, but there's not really a guarantee that he's folding that hand on a double paired board. He has a gut shot as like a backup just in case anyway. So not a guarantee that we could have done anything to win that hand. But it wasn't. I don't know if the first one worked. I don't know if he's suggesting that we folded a better hand. All right, we might have to edit that out of the video there. Thanks, Bank of America. So we raised pre-bet flop, and I think that I'm not really sure if he'll fold on the turn here too often. So I think I'm going to just check back. Once in a while, we actually have the best hand with queen high. He has 10-9 or 6-7, something like that. Not 6-7, obviously, on the turn. So at this point, I think I'm going to call. We beat bluffs, missed draws, fives, ace highs, all that kind of stuff. We're getting a great price, so happy to call that. Defensive bet. It was a defensive bet. I don't mind his bet in the river there with his actual exact hand, although it probably makes more sense to check and let us bluff, That seems like that would also make sense. It really depends on what you expect we're doing. Pretty good flop for us with the king 10 suited. He decides to check back, which is fine, I guess. We're going to be betting on the turn, though, for sure. And he calls. We river the nearly the nuts. I think I'm going to take a little while and then bet. If a viewer watches these videos, some people say that I make decisions too quick when I'm strong. So I'm gonna just take a little bit, whatever, and then we bet. So let's see if that works. I'm a POW, payoff wizard. That's right. That's an Antonio Esfandiari-ism. Just the 7, huh? So we've seen that our opponent likes to check back pairs on the flop, low pairs particularly. So against a player like that, we're gonna really want to give him the business on the turn in the river because we put him in the cage a little bit by. I had a lot of outs. I mean, he did have a hearts cover though, so I guess he had that. But all right, we're gonna be betting here. I think 60 is fine. We can start betting a little bit smaller if we want, but I think 60 is a-okay. Let's see what he does against 60. Fold. Okay, fair enough. So I'm not gonna read any of these questions here because I'm not exactly. It's heads up, so there's really gonna just be hands going on nonstop, and I don't think we're gonna have too much time to read through these questions. But I'm excited to get through them. There are some really awesome questions in there. And there's a couple particular ones that are like really awesome. Some of you guys are like super creative and sent me some like amazing stuff. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys once we get to like a real run it up again. That's true. That's true. Neither of us did. We made it to level 2. That's always impressive, right? All right. So paired board, always nice when we're pre-flop raiser. We flopped the backdoor flush draw. We flopped the backdoor straight draw. We have an overcard to second pair. We got lots of things going on for us here. So we're going to start with a bet. 60 chips seems fine. Our opponent calls rather quickly. Sometimes I would bet here and probably the river as well, but I think I'm just going to actually give up. I mean, like, come on. We have deuce 6, you know. I don't really think that anything you check calls with on flop can check call on turn because we can have so many hands that are just like, you know, diamonds or hearts, diamonds or spades or jack 10 or 6 7 8 7. Like we can just have so many hands that are 101 dealer. That was amazing. All right, you got it, kid. Deuce 6. Take it. No, thank you. Oh, just the flush, huh? No big deal. No big deal. Just the flush. All right, we'll defend here with the deuce 5 of puppy dog feet. We've made it to pair status, which is always sweet. Our opponent checks back. So I'm a little worried in this spot because if our opponent checks back with a pair on this flop, we are in kind of bad shape, obviously. But not the 3 paired. I mean, we have a deuce, 2 3s are on board. Our opponent has ace high here, more likely than he has a 3 or a deuce. So I'm fine with betting 120. It looks like we could be bluffing, and he calls with ace highs and stuff like that. 4s work as well. 4s work as well. So, I mean, I don't think that bet is like a slam dunk, snap, awesome bet. You know, like, I wasn't taking that money to the bank or anything like that. I wasn't, like, super excited about it. But I felt like he called enough with ace highs, maybe even some, like, king highs if he really wanted to be heroic. And once in a while we chop with other deuces. And really anything else is kind of unlikely in my opinion. Snap call. I love that spot. I don't know what spot. What spot are we talking about? Having a pair? I don't know. What are you talking about? All right. Queen Jack offsuit. Raise it up, dealer. 60 chips is the raise. Our opponent says no, thank you. All right. So interesting that he checked back with Queen 4 on the 8 deuce 3 board. You know, that hand I would suspect. If you had told me he had Queen 4, I wouldn't have. If you had asked me could he have Queen 4 on the river, I would have told you that I would have doubted it. Gonna call here with King High, probably fine. You know, he bet a lot, but I'm not convinced that we're beat yet. I also think that our opponent is at least somewhat likely to not like just barrel off here with Jack 3 offsuit once we call flop. So I mean, it's possible he might, but I'm not really convinced he will yet. We haven't seen him do that often enough yet that I feel like we can't check call profitably with King High. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, overcard, you know, lots of things going on there. Gonna raise it up here with 10-7 of hots. Another great paired board flop for us as pre-flop raiser. So off to the betting we go. I think we could keep sticking to 60. 60 seems fine. I kind of want to bet 50, but, you know, 10 chip difference, not a big deal either way. This is a good time for our opponent to attack in spots like this. Even though our opponent can't have much, we don't have a lot either. It's a spot that, you know, we would fight back by, you know, it's hard to fight back the first time because I haven't seen him do it yet, which is why it's not a bad time to attack as our opponent. But he decides to let us have that one. So we've made it to pair status. Our opponent bets rather quickly. So I don't love this spot. I don't really want to check raise. I don't think we're shallow enough to check shove. I think I'm going to just check call. Very similar to the hand we just played with king 6. Very similar in that sense. Our opponent checks back rather quickly. So on the river here, we're evaluating the decision between betting and checking. I think if we bet, he doesn't call with worse and he doesn't fold better. But if we check, there's some chance he'll bluff. There's some chance that he'll do something like that. So this could be a bet with a jack, a value bet with a jack. It would be fine. It could be a value with a king, but that'd be very small. Getting 4-1 here with a pair, I think we can call and just, you know, see what he has. He could be value betting like a 6 or something weird, and I think we win this often enough. Makes sense that he had a jack. I mean, I think you played it pretty well. Got good value. Nice hand for you, sir. I think you played that pretty well. Going to be min raising here. Our opponent could conceivably shove given stacks and blinds, and I would be in kind of a weird spot here with king jack, but not this time. Pretty good flop for us with 2 pair. That's right. I think we're going to start with a bet. 60 chips, as we've been doing. Spoiler alert, if our opponent does anything aggressive, we'll be all in. That's right. Happy to see the board brick on the turn. Going to start out with a bet on the turn here. I think 150. We could even argue do something like really big, like shove 200. Something that looks weaker than this. The opponent decides to call again. Pretty sweet run out for us here. So clearly going to just shove. Our opponent will call with kings and maybe even queens, stuff like that. Although can't say for sure he'll call with a queen. I mean, that would be kind of GG. I call. I think I won. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Yeah, you got it. All right. Can't do anything about that. That was just kind of unlucky. You know, if the turn of river was a 9 or an ace, we would have obviously dodged. We would have dodged it, but the 4-4 run out is going to get the job done there. So we ended up losing, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little heads up, sit and go, extra run it up action for you guys. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Jason Somerville, Instagram, you know, all that cool stuff, whatever you like. I'm there, ready to give you some run it up action. So thanks so much for watching as always. I'll see you back for more soon. Peace.